Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, karibu sana to this episode of The Legend, a special, very special episode. This program, as you all know, is a program that records the stories of men and women who have faithfully served in the church. And our host has always been the Reverend Dr. Karemi Momboi. But you see, brethren, the story of hunting always glorifies the hunter, not the hunted. In the story of The Legend, this program, the story always glorifies, is about the people who have served, never the one who is hunting the stories. But today, we focus on the hunter of the stories. And we are interviewing, putting on the spot, our hosts, the Reverend Dr. Karemi. So brethren, welcome to his home. This is his house. We are at his home here in this beautiful neighborhood. Karibuni sana. Let's go hunt the hunted one. The one who hunts. Karibuni sana. Karibuni, karibuni. How are you? How are you, Ren? And happy new year. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to
How
see
are you?
Too. Karibu, karibu, karibu.
Karibu sana.
Yes.
Umefungia mbwa? Ama tuingie.
Tuingie.
Santi.
Yes.
Yes, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thanking God. Karibu hapa kwetu.
Asante.
This is where we live.
Santi.
And we thank God.
Nice place.
Thank you for hosting the program and coming to visit me.
Yes, the shoe is in the other foot today.
It's a little bit interesting.
And
I'm even not very sure about how to handle that other side of the...
No, wacha kaende.
Yeah.
We will flow.
So here we are. And I'm happy to give my story. It's an interesting journey, journey of ministry. And we thank God.
We look forward to hearing the story of joys, the pains,
yes,
the hits and the misses.
Yes.
Thank you very much for having us.
Okay.
Yes.
And you know you requested to do this.
Yes,
I didn't know that I can be
yes. Because how could you always ask for other people's stories and you never tell yours?
Yes.
So we are happy to come here and hunt you.
Oh, yes.
We hope we can pin you down with your story.
Okay, I'm ready for that. So
Karibuni sana, brethren.
Yes.
Let's hear this story. Karibu sana, the host now being hosted.
Thank you, Daktari. Yes.
Yes. And please tell us who you are, because now you have always asked people who they are.
Okay.
Yes.
Like you have heard, my name is Karemi Momboi, and I love the Lord as my personal savior. I'm currently the minister of Kamushege Parish in Kiamadare Presbytery. I've been in the ministry for now close to 30 years since my ordination, and I thank God. It's been a long journey, but I have also served outside the country. The longest part of my ministry has actually been in the diaspora, but we'll come to that.
Yes. Hey, 30 years, man. Feels like forever.
Yes.
30 years ago, where was I? I think I was in primary school, but we praise God. We're still strong and kicking.
We thank God. We thank God. Yes.
So just tell us, where were you born? Maybe we could start there.
I was born in Nyeri. Nyeri, at a place called Ihororo. That's in the northern part of Teto constituency. Went to school in the same place, in my primary school at a school called Kanjora. Went to Dedan Kimathi High School, and then for my A-levels I went to the Goma High School, and then eventually joined the Kenya Water Institute for my water technology course. Yes. Oh,
so basically that for you first, before even you trained for ministry, you trained for to be in the water sector.
Yes, I did environmental technology, dealing with waste water technology.
Okay.
Yes, at the Kenya Water Institute.
Ama ni aje? Ni mtu wa sewage ama ni mtu wa...
Yes, we used to study, and I actually could treat sewage to consumable levels, because that is what happens.
Yes. Your family, just briefly, where you were born?
Yes. I was born Like I said, in Nyeri, by a single mother, and basically raised by my grandparents when my mom was working away from home. And then my grandfather actually introduced me to the PCA church. And I remember one time he was the youth chairman in our church. And one time he told me, I want you to go to a youth camp. When he told me he wants me to go to a youth camp, he also paid for me. It was actually 5 shillings per person. Aye. So I went to a youth camp in the same high school, Dedan Kimathi High School. And that's when I loved the youth job. And I joined the youth group in the PCA church. And I was never to leave the youth group until the day I joined St. Paul's after the interviews. And through the youth ministry, I was involved in several youth camps and youth leadership issues, music festivals. I was actually, eventually, before I joined the ministry, I was a member of the Central Youth Committee. And I am also lucky to have been among the members of the Central Youth Committee who organized the centennial celebrations.
Oh, the 91?
Yes.
The one from Kibwezi?
Yes, we ran the torch from Kibwezi all the way to the Goto. So it's an experience that I'll never forget.
Yes. Now, what, besides the organizing the centennial, what are some of the things that happened in your youth ministry as a youth leader then that really provoked you or inspired you to join the holy ministry? Besides, because we'll come at a later stage when we look at the call, but what are some of the things that provoked you?
The desire to be out there serving the Lord and serving the people, and community leadership. I learned a lot from my grandfather because he was a people person, involved in the various community issues. And when I ventured into the youth work, and actually elected as their secretary when I was in A-level, that became a challenge to me. But I loved the job and I had a very good team. And quite a number of us, like the chairman then, also joined the ministry before me. And then when the chairman went into the ministry to study theology, I was left with a challenge to be the chairman of the youth group.
Oh, you inherited leadership from the grandfather?
No. Thereafter, Reverend Francis Kamunya became the chairman. And I was his secretary. So when he went to the then Pastoral Institute, that is when I took over the chairmanship from him. So working with those elderly men and women in the church and trying to mold the youth became a very good challenge. And I was feeling that I really this is where I want to be. Even when I went to Kenya Water Institute, I knew where I would eventually head to. Then we had a very good minister who laid a very strong foundation for us, the late John Foro, when he was the minister in Nyeri Hill Presbytery. And he was my minister for 11 years.
Wait. Those days there was no the 5-year rule?
No.
Okay.
11 years he was my minister. He molded us and we loved the man.
So it was possible then for a minister to baptize you and then
confirm
you?
Yes. He almost did to me because he came into the parish just about a year after I was baptized by the late Reverend Samuel Yaki. And then confirmed me later on as I was going to high school. Then became my minister throughout my high school, and he was transferred when I was in my second year at the Kenya
11 years.
Yes.
I was anticipating because during those times when we still had the Presbyterial CYC regional, that's when most people met their spouses.
Yes.
I thought you would say one of the things you loved about your youth ministry was...
You are very right. You are very right. When I was... When I was the parish youth secretary in Ihororo, there was also another lady who was a member of the parish youth. She happened to have been behind me in high school, but I never got to know her quite well. But then we met in the parish youth committee, and she eventually became my wife.
Oh, you were the chairman?
I was the secretary of the parish youth and
Presbyterian youth. She was a member?
She was a member of the parish youth committee.
So by minutes of the youth council,
we got a box.
All right. And many years later?
Many years later, now we are in the ministry. And thanking God for that.
We praise God.
And his faithfulness.
Yes. Fantastic. Now, you go to the youth, you serve in the youth. Then at what point do you get into the holy ministry?
When I was in high school, and especially in my A-level, I used to admire the Reverend John Foro and the way he approached matters of ministry and interaction with the people. I could feel that I would want, when I grow up, I would want to be like this man. And I started preparing. I could actually talk about it. That, funny enough, the first time I felt that I would want to be in the ministry was I was in Form 2. I was not even saved. But I was feeling that I want to be like this man. But thereafter, I went and shared with him at some point when I joined the Kenya Water Institute. I went and shared with him that I feel called to join the ordained ministry. He told me what became very important to my foundational ministry when he told me that, yes, it's very important for people to join the ministry, and I after looking at your work here, I can for sure say that you can make a very good minister. However, I would advise you to finish your diploma at Kenya Water Institute, and if possible, work in the secular world for some few years. Get to understand the people that you are going to serve out there, what they do in the secular world, so that when you are ministering to them, you already know where they are coming from and what they are experiencing on daily basis before they come to church on Sunday. And at first I felt, no, this is not what I wanted. I wanted to be in the ministry. But then eventually I continued with my studies, and after graduation I had thought that I would work for the Kenya government for 5 years. But when I graduated from Kenya Water Institute and they posted me to Kisii, I became disconnected with the youth group. I would come at least once a month, but I was feeling that I'm very, very far away. In Kisii, and I was in the interior of Kisii, the Kisii district at a place called Kenyenya. When I was there were, I think 85% were Seventh-day Adventists, and the rest were Catholics. And I was feeling out of place.
You didn't like the SDA music?
No, it was not really about the music.
Oh, you were
the
used
issue
to
was
the
about
drum,
worshiping on Saturdays and not on Sunday. So
and taking tea without tea leaves.
Yes, all those rules. So when I thought about it, and I felt I had said I would work for the Kenya government for 5 years. I tried to be patient. I could not. So after 2 years, I resigned.
Wow.
And then when I resigned, they thought that I'm resigning because they have refused to transfer me to Central Province. When they got my letter of resignation, I was transferred to Central Province. But by then I had already decided I was ready for the interviews. So the same April 1993, when I was going for the interviews, is the same April that I was transferred from Kisii to Nyeri.
So how many times did you do the interviews for the Holy Ministry?
Only once.
What?
Yes.
So what special thing did you do? Because the history for many ministers is...
I don't know. I did. The first time I applied to join the ordained ministry.
And do you want to tell us your call was so evident that you convinced the panel the first time?
I don't know. I faced the panel, the session, I faced the presbytery, I faced the training committee. And I did it only once. The first time, and I was admitted to St. Paul's.
Allah.
Yes.
I mean, there are not many ministers with such a history.
I know.
Some have done 4, 5.
But I was actually, the youth work prepared me a lot, and I had actually become a very public person. At the whole of Mount Kenya region, I was known as a youth leader.
Yes. So already you are the work.
Yes. Even today when I go to my home parish, Ihororo and Thata, people will still call me Karimi wa Youthi.
Even though now you belong to PCMF.
Yes.
And legends.
Yes, they still call me Karimi wa Youthi.
Okay.
Yes.
So in effect saying that because the young people these days are complaining a lot that many have attempted interviews and they are not picked. You could say, I am that example. That indeed you can do with the first one,
yes,
and you picked the first one.
Yes.
So you go to St. Paul's,
Yes, I was saying, but you see, I had to prove through my work in the church.
Even before?
Even before.
Yeah.
That everybody, even the presbytery knew me. So that when I went for the interview, they were not dealing with somebody that they did not know.
A
So
stranger.
it's good for us to be rooted in the church before you can even think about joining the ministry.
So in other words, they had already interviewed you even without interviewing.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of.
So you do the holy ministry interviews, you go to St. Paul's.
Mm-hmm. So I went to St. Paul's, and it was during my second year in St. Paul's that we got married. So, and then after that, I was posted to Lari Parish in the then Rimuru Presbytery.
Cold place.
A very cold place. That is where our son was born. But funny enough, I was in Rari for only 5 months. I could be the only student minister who was transferred before his practical year.
Why now?
There were some problems in Nakuru West Parish, problems that were actually all over the newspapers. There were conflicts. And I don't know why the then moderator Mwindi thought that I would be the best suited person to go and handle the crisis in Nakuru West.
The newest bloom cleans the sweepers.
Yes.
The sweeps the cleanest.
So I went to Nakuru West in a very funny manner, because the members had a conflict with the presbytery, and the members of the presbytery could not get into the parish. So when by the way, even when I was posted there, it was so funny because I received a note that I should never be introduced there. They don't want to receive me there. So on Sunday morning, we are leaving the manse. Before I leave the manse to go to the vestry for the English service, there's a huge group that is worshipping under the tree. And we are going to the sanctuary with another group that is involved in the English service. And when before I left the house, my wife asked me, "Are we going to sing?" I told her, "We have not even been received here. We don't even know what is going to happen. How can we say that we are going to sing?" Wacha tuone. As I was stepping out of the door, I saw a friar. Says, "We are already aware that the student minister is already here against our demand. Any attempt to introduce him to the congregation will be a provocation."
Way.
So that is how I was introduced. And you know, the presbytery, because the presbytery could not step there, I was not brought by the presbytery. So I went to the vestry, I folded the paper, we went to the vestry, we started the English service, it went on well. I just said hi to the people, I never introduced myself. We coming back to the vestry with the procession, the elders of the whole parish were there. It wasn't supposed to be a parish service, but all the elders were in the vestry. So when we got in, they were holding the same papers, but they hid them when they saw me. And now the elders went into an argument. So who is going to introduce the minister? Because there was no minister from the presbytery who could get in there. And the chairman of the finance then says, "This is not a parish service, so it will be done by the chairman of the local congregation." But the chairman says, "No, it should be the session clerk." No. Then all the elders agreed that the chairman of the local congregation should do that. And, you know,
And you're just there watching
I'm
all
just there watching this drama. My coming here was a drama. My transfer was a drama. And now I'm here, and even the elders don't want to be associated with me. So we went to the service, and the chairman of the local congregation was leading the service. I was sitting right next to him. And when it came to the moment of choirs, there was no choir. But the church was packed. Even some people were outside. And because there was no choir, it occurred to me this is a congregation with very high population of young people. And there is no choir. So because there was no choir, then he said, then we will invite the registrar to make the announcement. As the registrar was making the announcement, I whispered to the chairman, rather than introduce me, tell the members that there was somebody who wanted to sing, but we forgot. And after the announcement, he said, "Oh, there is somebody we forgot. He wanted to sing. Let us give him a chance to sing." So I stood up. And I said, "My wife is somewhere. Can you come?" So she came. And I had selected a song that we would sing without notes. And I said, my name is Karimi and this is Shomith, and we are the ones that are residing in that
House.
in the manse, in that house. Definitely, who
Of
else
course.
resides there? And you know, I'm a student. So we sang, and when we sang the song, the people clapped,
Score one.
and the service continued. And then after service, the same group met under the tree, and then it became a Tower of Babel. He was not introduced, and the others are saying, and some of you clapped when he sang the song. We did not clap because of him, because it is because of the song. And then they became divided. They said, hatukuona kani mtu mbaya. Why don't we give him a chance? Tuone. So they said, we are going to give him a chance, but no minister will ever come here to train him. So I stayed in the parish. And God helped us to do a lot of work unifying
So at what point, with you being posted to Nakuru, are you already ordained?
No.
Even licensed?
No.
Eish.
I'm not. It was in the middle of my training here. So now we worked and worked and worked. The most surprising thing is that I was the first in our class to be licensed and ordained.
Even with all these
with all
troubles.
that mess. Because when the parish settled down, the people demanded that the Karimi be ordained and stays here. So after interviews with the Presbytery and the training committee, the same was said by the Presbytery and the training committee. By the session at the Presbytery and the training committee. If Karimi lives in Nakuru West, we will go back to the same problem. So I was ordained and stayed in that parish for another 4 years. Yes.
And it was a fruitful ministry.
Oh, I really thank God. Even today I consider Nakuru West to be home. And those people are still my friends. Yes, yes. So we did that work, and Nakuru West was united by the time we left there. But then again, my transfer from Nakuru West was also a problem because it was caused by the crisis. I was a clerk of the Presbytery, and there was some crisis in Dr. Ada. And somebody, through their own wisdom, thought that because I'm the clerk of the Presbytery, I have the record of Dr. Ada, and it's not going to be good for some people. So I was transferred to save
some people.
Some people. Now the problem was, my wife was a teacher. We are in the Rift Valley. It's during the Moi era. During the Moi era, you could not transfer a teacher from Rift Valley to Central Province. And now I've been transferred. I pleaded and appealed for a reconsideration. It was not recent to. So I reported to Tomotomo. I am a young minister. I have to move my family from the parish manse to a rental house in Nakuru town. And nobody is paying for me. So and I had to buy items for the family because we were in the manse and it was fully furnished. And it was not very easy. It was not very easy for us. But God is faithful. I was able to travel to the place every Sunday and come back to Tomotomo every Tuesday morning.
For the sake of love.
For the sake of love and for the sake of ministry.
So in Tomotomo you move in? I
moved into Tomotomo, and as I was doing ministry in Tomotomo, our son was in Jitegemea Nursery School in Nakuru West. So I could go on Sunday night. On Monday morning, I would take him to school. Afternoon, I would pick him from school. Tuesday morning, I would drop him to school and then go to Tomotomo. Every time I dropped him in the morning, he would ask me, Daddy, are you the one who is going to pick me up? I would tell him, Tutaona. So one day, I dropped him on a Tuesday morning. He asked me the same question, but I had to go to Tomotomo. So the mother was coming from school to pick him up, and then the mother, the boy looks at the mother, and asks, where is Daddy? Or he went to work. The boy goes, Mami, si utafute dadi mwingine ambaye hatakuwa kitutoroka.
Heartbreaking.
So that evening, my wife goes to a phone booth because there were no phones those days.
The red ones.
And he calls a neighbor so that I can go and pick the phone in the neighbor's house. We didn't have a phone in Tomotomo. And as I picked the phone, she was crying. It was so heartbreaking. And we agreed on one thing, we have to pray now for God's intervention. The PCA is not able to act. The government is not able to act. At some point, PCA had moved me back to Naivasha so that I can be near my family. But then the Tumutumu people refused with me. That was after 3 months. So I stayed in Tumutumu. So when we agreed to pray, I started looking for a school. I was given a contact of a particular school by my mentor, Reverend Dr. Moita, who was in the US then. I applied, and a year later we were in the US. God worked in miraculous ways. We could not stay together in the same house in Kenya. We went with the family to stay together in the US. Without a scholarship, and not through the PCA, private arrangement. So we went. And God provided, because I did not. That was the year 2001.
Oh, yeah.
We were not given tickets by the training committee, and because we had not informed the training committee that we were going. But God provided. We went to the family and.
You must have been a dynasty. If you can pay for your ticket in the 2000.
Well, I had a car. I sold it. That it catered for our tickets. Yes.
Still,
and God provided. Yes.
So you 2000 you go to the US.
Yes.
You go to school.
So I went to the US and did my master's at Central Baptist Theological Seminary in Kansas City. Then after that, when I was done with my master's, I enrolled for my doctoral studies at Oral Roberts University in Tulsa, Oklahoma. But we used to live in Kansas City. I would drive to Tulsa in Oklahoma whenever we were required to be there for the 2 weeks during the semester for the class. Now, when I was leaving Tumutumu, there was a Reverend Dr. Nzioka, who was the minister at Nanyuki. We had just ordained him, and he was a young minister. So when I left Tumutumu, he tells me, "Now you leave me, and you are the only young minister in the presbytery. What am I going to do?" I told him, "When I get there, I'll look for a school for you." And we started the process with him, and he came to the same school the following year. So when he came with his family, that is when now we realized that there was a need that we could identify with parents who are coming to visit their children, but all the services there were in English. So we started a Swahili-speaking service in Kansas, and we started the Neema Community Church. But then we didn't go very far, and when I realized there were 2 of my former members in Nakuru who were families that had relocated to Boston. And they started connection with me. They were telling me that if you come here, we would have an opportunity for ministry here. And there's a fellowship of Presbyterians that is starting here. So I went to explore the situation in Boston. By God's grace and sheer coincidence, the lady who was the elder in this fellowship that was starting was my classmate in A-level. So now we connected, and then after some few months we moved to Boston and founded the then Kenyan Community Presbyterian Church Ushidi. So I ministered there, and Nzioka was left in Kansas. Yes. And
the church in Boston thereafter, is it the same one as Neema?
Yes and no. Yes and no. The Ushidi Church grew. But then there are so many challenges that face ministry in diaspora. And now I have gone through a lot. During my ministry in the Boston, I've been taken to court twice. But to go back to what happened, so that we are no longer Ushidi, but we are now Neema. In the year 2006, 2007, there was the campaign to change the ordination standards of the Presbyterian Church of USA. And when I went to Boston, I did not transfer my membership to the presbytery there. I argued that I must retain my membership in Tumutumu Presbytery. So there is a clause in the Book of Order, the PP of the PCUSA, that you can have a dual membership. So I went for it. I became a dual member of that presbytery and the presbytery in Tumutumu. So in one of the presbytery meetings, the vote comes in, change the ordination standards so that we can allow even ordination of gay people into ministry and as ministers and even as elders. And then I stood in a presbytery. By the way, I was the only person of color, the only black person in that presbytery. And I stood in the presbytery and I vehemently opposed it.
Why now?
The issue of being in a presbytery that is voting to be ordaining such people, I said no. But then the vote went on. We were 51 members in the presbytery. I was the only negative vote. So it
50
went through.
plus versus 1.
Yes, so it went through. I said this will affect our relationship with you as a church. But then in the evening when I was sitting at home, I saw an email that came in. One of the ministers in the presbytery told me, you did something that some people will never forgive you. I asked him why. When you said what you said about those people, don't you know that the clerk of the presbytery is one of them? I said, no, I didn't know. And even if I knew, I would still have said what I said. Probably I would have toned down the language. So he told me this. I still have that email. That man is so vindictive that he'll never forgive you. Brace yourself for what is to come. And true to the fact,
a storm came.
A storm came. I was cadarized. And this candle is even taken to the press. And the presbytery summons me. And they accuse me of that scandal. And they have the press people present. And then they say that they have suspended me for 6 months. And the following day, there are headlines in the newspapers. Pastor deposed.
Yet even it's just suspension. These 6 months.
Yes, but now it was, people did not understand that. So I was not supposed to be in that church until the presbytery reviews my case and so many other conditions. I was cadarized. And there is nothing as bad as having negative reports about you in a place on daily.
No, let me ask.
Yes.
You're already a person of color.
Yes.
You're already dark.
Yes.
How much more dark were you?
There is grace. So, I took a back seat, decided to proceed on my leave. After the 1 month leave, I came back to church on that Sunday, and I preached. The second Sunday, the clerk of the presbytery sent 3 emissaries with a letter to say that I am not supposed to be there, and a quote-unquote restraining order that I should not get in there. But they came as we were receding from the service to the vestry. So when we were getting to the vestry, they got in. Then I got shocked. Who are these? And then I remembered them. The one that was reading was the chairman of the commission that quote unquote suspended me. So I realized there is a fight here. So I said a prayer, and then I said to the elders and the visitors, can we go to the office? And we leave the deacons here. When we went to the office, it was another drama. We are in the office, and I'm standing up and I'm telling them to sit down, and the guy, not the guy, he was a minister, does not want to sit down. I said, because it's a church meeting, you will sit down, I say a prayer, and then I'll give you a chance to speak. When I finished praying, he stood up. And he said, I told him, okay, it's also not just a church meeting, it's a Presbyterian meeting. Order demands that there cannot be 2 people standing at the same time. So let me finish what I'm going to say, and then I'll give you a chance to talk. And then he sat down. So I said, before I give you a chance to talk, I'm going to ask 3 questions. Question number 1, you are here. Did you tell the elders that you were coming? No, but we told so-and-so. They named another person there. They said, okay. Elders, did you know that these people are coming? No. Okay. Question number 2. It was in my office. Right behind the seat was a certificate of registration of the church. It was Kenyan Community Presbyterian Church, Ushindi. I told him to read this. I asked him, are you a member of the Kenyan community? No.
No.
Put it back. Final question. We worship in a rented building. And we have rented this building from a Jew by name Jack Perry. Do you have his express authority to be in here? No. And now you're bringing a restraining order for me not to be here, yet you're not supposed to be here. I got into my pocket and I was dialing 911. In the US, if you dial 911, the police are supposed to be there within 3 minutes. So they ran away. They ran away. They left the restraining order there and they ran away. They never came back there.
Afro cinema.
Yes. We continued to worship. The first attempt did not work. The second attempt to get me out was the presbytery clerk calling the head office. And he got the moderator then. And the moderator asked him, who gave you permission to... PC is a denomination by itself. We have ordination and discipline mechanisms. Who gave you permission to discipline our minister? And that was gone.
That's finished.
Yes.
There's no comeback there.
The next thing they did, I came to learn later, was to write a letter to the immigration department that I'm not supposed to be in that country because I came as a student and I am no longer a student. I came to learn about that way later. But the worst that they did, when all those did not work, was to take me to court. To block me from accessing, they wanted a restraining order from the judge so that I may not access the church. And I asked 2 questions. I started this church. We worship in Kikuyu. They don't speak Kikuyu. They were asked by the judge, do you speak Kikuyu? No.
No.
They have never come to that church to perform any ceremony. You go to the lease documents, to the registration documents of the church, they bear the name of Karemi. So who should not be there? And the judge said, you guys don't seem to be having a plan for an African language speaking congregation and you don't speak their language. So I'm not going to offer to give you the restraining order. And then they made another motion. The other motion was to argue that the church was under them, so they should freeze the accounts of the church. And so the judge accepted that the accounts of the church should be frozen until the case is determined. And so
how do you survive
the
now?
accounts were to be signed by the attorneys on both sides. So the wisdom of the attorney was that normal and regular bills are supposed to be paid, but my salary is not part of the normal and regular bills. But I purposed that I would not let them access the church. I served the church pro bono for 3 years and 4 months without salary. 3 years and 4 months. One morning I woke up, I went to the church, I preached, and gave benediction, and then I told the people, listen to me carefully. With effect from this coming Saturday, 22nd of March, 2014, Reverend Karemi will not be the minister of Ushidi Church. And I want to repeat that by saying, Reverend Karemi has given a notice of resignation with effect from Saturday. Don't ask me where I'll be worshiping, because there is a court case going on. I cannot interfere with the court case. Tonight I'm flying out to Kenya for a funeral of my aunt. I'll come back and you get to know where I worship. I came back on Saturday. I had talked to the same landlord because the next space had been vacated. So I looked for 2-3 people, we rented seats, and the following Saturday we came to worship there. The whole church joined me. The irony of it was, the same pressmen who were saying about this guy that they have scandalized, they are the ones who came and took pictures of the new church. And the remnants in the other church were just about 10. And that day, I registered PCEA Neema so that there would be no relationship with PCUSA.
Did they unfreeze the accounts for Ushindi? To date?
No, because the case was going on. They only accepted to come and sit with us that we talk when the money was done, because it was paying rent to a building that is not being used. But we were done and we left.
So
Everything.
So that's the most difficult part of it, of starting the ministry in the diaspora. But what are the joys?
The joys of starting the ministry in diaspora is when you identify, ministry in the diaspora is personal.
Yeah.
Personal in the sense that you are the minister. You're ministering to a people who, though they are social beings as far as our African culture is concerned, they are there by themselves. There are some who are there who don't have a single relative. So when they apply for jobs, some of them will write your name as the next of kin. When they go for medical care, they write your name as the healthcare proxy. And so you have to allow you to keep yourself in such a manner that you are accessible to them. The other thing is that you were saying about joys. So when you see that personal ministry and people really having a lot of faith in you. And by the way, when we registered PCA in EMA, by the end of the year, we had grown more than 3 times. And by the end of the year, we had bought our own worship space that was later dedicated a year later by Moderator Mwamba. So the church grew. And we did thank God. The joys of having people who are coming on Sunday after being battered by the system out there and a lot of stress, but they come on Sunday to socialize and to worship God. That alone. And the knowledge that these people have come here, some did not expect to meet anybody they know, but they come with their faith from where they came.
And they find a community.
And then there is no interference now with the system. The system that we had before of the Peace USA, that made me feel that God has been with us and we have done the Lord's work. So we continued and the church grew, and we thank God for that. Now, US being a 24-hour economy, for every minute of the 24-hour day, there is a group of people that is awake. So as a minister, you have to be accessible to the members, not through the elders, directly. To the being accessible to the elders.
How do you sleep? How do you rest?
For 24 hours. They will call you even at 1 a.m. or even 3 a.m. Because some of them were not Presbyterians when they came there. And even those that were Presbyterians here, they were Sunday school kids, and now they are adults. They don't know the system of calling your elder before you go to the minister. They know he is my pastor.
They call direct.
So they call direct.
In any case, you are more or less their first relative.
Yes, I am their first relative, literally. And the reason why they call you, especially at night. Now, let me give you a case in point. A member of the family goes to the hospital in the morning here and finds that their mother or dad died at night. And their sister or brother is in Boston. So after they cry, by 9 a.m. they are calling first their people in diaspora. And the person they are calling there is being called, the person may be at work, and it is 1 a.m. So who is the first person to call where they are crying? The pastor.
Their pastor.
Many times you have to wake up and go and get them from work because they can't drive home. And so many crises that happen at night. And you are the first point of call.
Responder,
Because they depend upon you for almost anything. And that's where most of the ministers who have gone to the diaspora sometimes have failed. When you don't open yourself to be accessible to your members. Yes.
Now, looking at, you started your ministry first Lari, then Nakuru, then Tomotomo, then you left. Then you have served in the diaspora for a long time. Considering your call and having served specifically in the diaspora, what reflections would you make?
Reflections in terms of diaspora ministry. For one.
And in terms of fulfilling your own call. Did the ministry in diaspora specifically fulfill your call?
Yes.
Assuming, God forbid,
yes,
you are to stand before God, you are to die today and go before God.
Yes.
Do you think he would tell you, welcome home, faithful servant?
The one thing that I am really grateful for is when you go to a place that there was no church and establish a worshiping community. When you look at the people, the Kenyans that have gone there, you see like the way Jesus saw like sheep without a shepherd. when you offer yourself to bring them together into a worshiping community, when you establish a church that is not just for this day and this year, but a church that will outlive you, the church that will be there even way beyond your stay in that country, you can say before God, I've served.
I've served.
Yes.
And why did you leave the US? Because, I mean, presumably you were at the peak, but you leave at the peak and come to start.
For one, there's one thing that I had purposed and I agreed with God. I'll never retire in the diaspora. But I told God to use me for the time that I'm there. I established that church, and not just that church, several churches in the diaspora. When I realized that I now have come to the point of preparing to exit, I filed for Reverend Dr. Mushina, and he came and became my associate minister. 2 years down the line, Reverend Wakaba comes to study. And when he came, one of the requirements of a doctor of ministry is that you be practicing somewhere. So we agreed that because we were having members coming from far and wide, we divided the parish into two. So we gave one part to Wakaba to continue the studies and practicing. In that part, we gave him 2 small churches. And then we were left with the Reverend Dr. Mushina. At exactly 5 years after Dr. Mushina came, I gave a notice of resignation.
But now not to move to the next building.
Not to the next building,
but to
now to come back to Kenya. I have always prepared myself holistically about my coming back. And I could be the only PCA minister in the diaspora, and especially in the US, who never disconnected himself with the PCA. In this sense, whenever I came here and there was a presbytery meeting in Tomotomo, I would attend the presbytery meeting. I used to ensure that I come for every GSC meeting and GA meetings, just to maintain that connection. I have fought for the recognition of the churches in the diaspora from the PCA. I've fought for the creation and implementation of the overseas presbytery for many years. I can say I did my work.
What is missing? What is the missing link? Because as you have said, there is a disconnect between the diaspora and the PCA. What's the missing link?
There is no missing link. It's only that we take a long time. Sometimes the decision-making process of the PCA is very slow. Woe to us if we have among the officials of the GA one dissenting voice, because they have to be united to implement that. And I can tell you, in every administration, there has always been a dissenting voice. And that is why it has never been implemented. The motion, the agreement, and the vote to implement an overseas presbytery has been discussed and passed, that resolution, by 3 general assemblies in my presence. And we wait for implementation.
Never happens.
Never happens. And even now, I could see signs of it being implemented any time. But now I don't think so.
We are people of hope.
Yes,
maybe in your lifetime.
In my lifetime, I would really thank God. The reason that I hope and pray that this can be done is because of the potential. And giving the Presbyterians that have gone to the diaspora a sense of belonging. I could be the only minister who has been supporting the PCA church from diaspora, sending financial support and other forms of support to the church here. Hoping that that can be recognized and we can see the need to have those people in the fold. It has not happened, but I'm still hopeful.
We are people of hope.
The only thing is that I would not have delayed until my retirement age comes while I'm still there. One of the things I noticed is, because I ministered to the church in Boston for 18.5 years, I started noticing that there are some people who come to church because of Karemi. And then I realized there was a danger. I may go to heaven and my God tells me I gave you a church and you made it yours. No. I decided to step out so that people can come to
tell
church.
You, had you gone that way, you would be like the preachers we are now investigating.
I'm not one of them. I'm not like them. So.
Now, two more things.
Yes.
Besides ministry, you also have published a book.
Actually, two.
Oh, two?
Yes.
Oh, I know Burning Yet Not Consumed.
Burning Yet Not Consumed is a book that was a product of my doctoral thesis. And that came because when I was a minister in Nakuru, a very young minister, and because of the challenges that were there, I worked and overworked myself. So I remember one time we went to the NCCK General Assembly at Kanamai in Mombasa. And I had one of my colleagues who was my roommate. We would finish the business and go to the swimming pool. And I would not last in the swimming pool for 10 minutes. And by 9 p.m. I was in bed, sound asleep. And I can't wake up in time in the morning. It went on for 2-3 days. And this guy tells me, stress. That stress was looking for me. You know, as a water technician, the only time before then that I had heard about stress was when we were calculating the stress factor of iron beams and steel bars at the Kenya Water Institute. So now when this guy tells me there is stress in human beings, and I ask myself, what is this? And I prayed that if I ever get a chance to do some research, I would want to research on stress and stress management in ministry. And that became the topic of my doctoral research. Thereafter, I converted the thesis into that book, Burning Yet Not Consumed, in reference to the ministers who are working like a burning bush, but they are still not consumed. They are going on and on and on. And
the second one?
The second one is what I published about 2 years ago. Infant baptism.
Yes.
Demystifying the sacrament.
Yes.
Because it has been a confusion to so many people and Christians in the church today.
Yes.
So,
thank you for publishing.
Yes.
Now, finally,
yes,
to your baby.
Yes.
And the one you're very passionate about.
Yes.
The legend.
The legends. Yes.
Legends are people who, legends of Rwanda Magere, those were stories told of long time ago. But you chose to take a different approach. So why? And what is legend?
Okay.
Yes, you had better take a sip because this is where it gets hot.
Yes. When I went to the US, one of my mentors, I called him from the US and told him, we left for the US in a hurry. I didn't have time to tell you that we have left. Said I heard about it and I really thanked God for that. But for us, we've been told to stay home, to retire. And I was wondering whether ministry has retirement. So, and that minister never lasted long. And then maybe 15 years down the line, I came and we were discussing another friend of mine who was also a colleague, a senior minister, who had retired, but he was pleading to continue working pro bono without pay. And then at some point, the presbytery said, no, you have to retire. And then he also never lived long.
Passed on.
And then when I was reflecting on those two incidents, I realized that we need to come to the point whereby we demystify retirement. We talk about it openly. And also discuss with the retired ministers so that everybody, those of us that are in active ministry, can get to understand that there is life after retirement. And again, for you to retire, there has to be some time of preparation. It is a process. So God helped me to come up with this program and the idea to deal with the legends, interviewing those that have retired, getting to understand from where they are, so that you see they prepared themselves by building their own homes, and they are involved in farming and other economic pursuits. And their stories be told, so that those of us that are in active ministry can learn from them and also long to be there and realize that we are not being pushed out. It is a time that you can also continue enjoying life. So when I thought about that, I decided to come up with that program, and I called it The Legends. And I have been interviewing ministers, retired ministers in their home settings, recording their stories. So I must say, it is a good baby. I love the baby, and I enjoy
and
it.
It's growing.
So as I record, and I do those recordings privately with a private camera crew, I give the recordings to Kirk TV, because this is about PCA ministers. Air it to the members of the PCA. So when I came back and there was some delay in my posting, I was feeling that I don't need to be posted. I have a ministry in this.
You already,
It's keeping me busy right now because I have a parish. Sometimes I lack times to do the recordings. And right now the episodes had ended, and we didn't have new episodes because I didn't have time during the close of the year activities and the beginning of the year activities to do more recordings. So it's something that keeps me very busy. I love it. I enjoy it. I learn from these ministers. Sometimes I'm challenged when I'm interviewing them. And I feel I would like to be like these guys.
Now, having interviewed several legends, two questions come into mind. One, considering the current direction as a church we are taking, these men and women, the legends, served in big areas without the resources we have.
Yes. Yes.
Comparing to the current generation of ministers, so many resources, small areas. Are we as effective as them?
Probably yes, probably no. But there are some of us who, in our own appearances and approaches to ministry, seemingly are not serious with the ministry.
Could it be that the comfort provided has been too much, that we forget?
Probably yes. Because when you listen to the stories of the legends and you hear somebody had a parish with the congregations that are running from Kisumu to Kakamega and all those areas, and they would go 2 or 3 days before so that they can hold a worship service. And some, like a minister who was in one of the outreaches in Rift Valley, who told me a long time when I was posted to Rift Valley, that he used to go to the outreach. He had 16 congregations spanning, I think, 3 districts, and he was using a bike. Some of the stories you hear, you ask yourself, what have we done to sacrifice for the ministry? What have I done? So it is a challenge. And yet, again, as we share with the regents, we get to know a lot of things that we did not know. Like I was, there was an interview with the Reverend Lucas Mwaneki, who actually made me come to understand that he was a missionary to Kibwezi. When we were dealing with the centennial celebrations, the name of Reverend Lucas Mwaneki never featured. And I have never thought about him from that point of view. I've only known him in other presbyteries. But he gave me another side of mission work that needs to be recorded by the PCA for the sake of posterity. Yes. So these are some of the things that I'm running. They are very important stories. And actually, for the members of the PCA getting to know their ministers, they are retired ministers, they are, and the work that they did.
The 2 stories that triggered the legends, one is the 2 stories in mind. Could it be that the church provides too much comfort so that the ministers don't prepare for retirement? Or it gives too much security?
Well, I came to learn from one of the regents sometimes back, something that I didn't know, that previously in the 60s and in the 70s, the people that joined the ministry in the early 70s, they were never told that there was retirement. They were never told.
So they never prepared?
They never prepared because they knew once in the ministry, always in the ministry. They were never told about retirement. They only came to learn about retirement thereafter. So that could be a problem, that some people never knew that they would retire at some point. While at the same time, the issue of comfort, you see, ministers live in the comfort of the parish manses, provided for. And if you're not prepared for the fact that after retirement, you will go to your home. You may end up failing to prepare that home, so that when you retire, you have nowhere to go.
You have no place.
You have no place to go.
So one of the stories, the
and
lessons...
And that one, again, the issue of regrets and the need to discuss that and to prepare for that also came up because of my experience as a very young minister in Nakuru, settling my family in a rented house in Nakuru and buying all these household items. Yes.
Now, having spoken for that long, what would be your closing thoughts? Because, I mean, it has been a journey.
Yes.
One of your youth ministry, then being posted in Nakuru, and you are not even ordained, and the conflict, that shock of being introduced, then the statement of your son going to the US, the joys and the pains, coming back. But then, had you forgotten Kikuyu?
No.
But you came back.
Yes.
How would
even
you
my son speaks Kikuyu.
Yes. You taught him.
Yes.
Na vile sisi wenye tuko huku tunashindwa kufunza watoto.
Yeah, he speaks Kikuyu.
What would be your reflection of your life this far?
My thought about the church is that, one, we have to always remember that the church is a bride of Christ. Don't kill yourself because of somebody's bride. That is one. The second thing is that we have to remember that there were so many people that God would have called, but He called you and I. Let us consistently and continuously listen to the one who called us, and seek to do what the one who called us wants for His church. The other thing is that never expect so much from the church, because we were called to give to the church, and the Lord gives to us. When we expect a lot from the church, that's where we focus so much on what we can gain and what we can be paid and stuff like that. We can still do, one of the things I've learned from the Regents is that you can still do better and retire honorably, even though you do not have a lot of financial resources. I have never depended on the church. For those 3.5 years that I was not being paid in the US, I just looked for a teaching job at a college. And I was teaching and serving the church. And I did my own works in the US. For all the years I've been there, and the sessions there can testify, I've never pushed for a review of my pay. And I've never asked what I'm being paid. When they tell me you'll be paying this, that is what I take. And so I have experienced God blessing me and helping me to grow and to move from one level to the other. He surprised to our needs. But when we look at the church that we are in today, you have seen it being, there are so many questions that are arising in terms of our ministry. And one is tempted to ask, are we still responsive to God? Are we still listening to God? Because God is always speaking. God is able to tell you, hey, Daktari, stop what you're doing in that parish. Are we listening? And then there is listening and obeying. If I was not listening to God, I would never have left Boston. But I felt God telling me, this is the time to go. This is the time to go. And I could not go against that call. And when I came here, even when there was some resistance in terms of my being posted, I felt God telling me, there is work for you to do. Surprisingly, the months I stayed without being in a parish, I was busy almost every weekend, being invited to parishes and to train leaders and to preach. And the weekdays I was doing the Regents. And even today, if I were to ask for a retirement, I still feel there is work to do.
There is more than enough.
Because in the ministry, you don't do what is given to you. You look for work among the people. And there's a lot in the ministry.
You pursue your call in
You pursue your call, regardless. And don't wait for the gallery to say that you are doing good. Just go. Some people want to go where they are appreciated. And where people say you are doing good. No. Do it, and do it for God. And God will never let you down.
Now, seeing that I'm younger than you, I hope one day to come and serve you Holy Communion when you're old.
Yeah, watch out for the prayers you pray.
When you're very old.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, I
Yes.
hope to. But also, hopefully in those days when you are really old, I don't know how long you want to live. I hope to live to 94.
Yeah, probably the same.
But when you are old and you are dead, what do you hope to be written on your tombstone?
He listened, he served his God. And one of I have one principle that I have that has really helped me in my ministry and in my relationships with the people. I came to realize when I was doing stress management is that one of the causes of stress is when we harbor hatred and anger. I have no enemies. I never hate anyone. It does not matter what you do to me. You know, if those people that took me to court and scandalized me, you ask the people in the Boston, I'll tell you, whenever we met in court, I hugged them. I have no enemies. And I never get angry, regardless of what you do to me. I have that motto, never let them pull you so low as to hate them. By Booker Washington. I changed that into now what I have today. Never let them pull you so low as to act like them. If they are mad at you, you don't have to act like them. No. You have to, you have a life. Yes. And you need to train yourself to always think positively, ever smiling, and knowing even though there is this challenge here, it will not be forever. It's just for temporary. It's temporary. Life goes on.
Wow. Thank you very much. And it has been an honor interviewing the host of The Legend.
Yes.
I pray to God that indeed, as you have confessed, when your journey ends, it shall be said, he listened and he served.
Yes.
So thank you very much,
and
keep the fire burning.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And we need to let the church be the church.
Yes.
I like that clarion call from the very Reverend Bernard Mwindi. Let the church be the church.
God's bride shall always be.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
God bless you, and thank you for hosting.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you. Now I'll return the shoe to you.
Viewers, see you in the next episode of The Legends. May the Lord bless you.
Thank you.
As the sun rises, so do we, as we trust it to rise and set without any worries interrupting your day. StarTime's home solar solution with solar panels, hybrid inverter, and lithium battery. Powering your prosperity and happier life. Empowering you to do the things that really matter. A complete and reliable home solar solution. Call us today. StarTime Solar. Power your life.
Looking for a serene, affordable getaway in Mombasa? Welcome to Waget Hotel, a PCEA-owned destination where comfort meets value. Whether you're an individual, a family, or a group, Waget Hotel offers the perfect setting for rest, bonding, and fellowship. Enjoy our exclusive off-peak rates for PCEA church groups at just 2,500 shillings per person on half-board and 2,800 shillings per person on full board, inclusive of a complimentary conference hall. At Waget Hotel, we go further with special discounts, flexible packages, and rates designed with your convenience in mind. Experience genuine hospitality in a quiet, serene environment, the perfect place to relax, connect, and create lasting memories with your family and team. For reservations, call 0722 209 796 or WhatsApp 0731 209 796. Waget Hotel, your home away from home in Mombasa.
Hello, our dear viewers, and we are truly happy that you have joined us today. We trust that you're keeping well, keeping safe, and today we continue with the theme of the Christian education. Remember, we are still in the Christian education season, and this season we are looking at a theme that is drawn from Genesis 13, verse 14b to 15. Genesis 13, verse 14b to 15. And the tagline is looking beyond the horizons, enhancing collaboration, competence, and capacity building. And so today we want to look at how does that theme relate or blend in with the new education system in the country. Because it's new, we are moving on. And we're talking about, CBE, CBC, and we want to see how the two connect as we move on. And so today I am honored to be hosting a very important person in this country, and one who is truly, experienced in the area of education in this country. And that is none other than Dr. David Jengere. It is so good that you found time to be with us today.
Thank you very much.
Yes, kindly. Yeah.
Invitation.
Yeah.
Come and join
Yeah.
the program.
Yeah.
I love the theme, and I'm sure you'll have time to discuss.
Yeah. Thank you very much, and karibu tena. Off your busy schedules, but you're here, and I know our viewers are very happy. And viewers, you know that we are also streaming live on Kirk TV Kenya on Facebook and Kirk Digital KE on YouTube. Kirk Digital KE on YouTube and also Kirk TV Kenya on Facebook. And feel free to engage with us. Questions, comments, tell us where you're watching from and all that. Would love to know that we are together in this. Again, our guest.
Yes.
You are the CEO NEC, Kenya National Examination Council.
Exactly.
Tell us a bit about that. What are your roles and responsibilities? What is NEC?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Reverend. The Kenya National Examinations Council is established as a body corporate to deal with all matters examinations and certification in the country. All levels of education below the university. That is at primary school level, secondary school level, teacher training level, and the TVET institutions. That's our responsibility. So we administer examinations and assessments, and then we provide certification for all those assessments. So it's a very critical body in the country because, as you know, the sovereignty of any country is determined by two documents. If you were to travel from Kenya and settle in another country, say you went to, I don't know which country is your most preferred destination, say you went to Japan, there are two documents you will land with there and which will define who you are. That is your passport and your certificates. So these are two very important documents which we have to be always conscious on the processes of getting them and guarding them jealously. Yeah.
Wonderful. And you have dispensed those roles very well with a lot of excellence, and we are truly, truly proud of you. Recently, we also read in the news that you were appointed to the UNESCO in the Education Bureau. You'll tell us a bit about that, and that not just to be a member of the board or council, but you are the chair. I mean, that's such an honor, even for our country. Tell us more about that.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm actually humbled to have been appointed through election by UNESCO General Assembly. Last year, they met, and through an election process, I was elected to join the 12-member board.
There are only 12.
We are only 12 of us.
Like the disciples.
Who sit in, yes, actually, like the disciples,
Yes.
to sit in the apex body. This is one of the specialized agencies of UNESCO that deals with matters curriculum, pedagogy, and assessment. So I sit in that board. It's a 4-year mandate, so 2 years, and I was elected by my colleagues in our first sitting to be their chairman. So it's a very humbling experience.
Wow.
Yeah.
How many Africans are there?
Well, from Sub-Saharan Africa, I'm the only one.
Yeah.
Then we have a representative from Egypt and another one from Morocco.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is so special.
Yes.
It is so, so special.
Yeah.
Has Kenya ever been in that board before?
Well, I'm told a very long time ago, because this is a 100-year-old institution.
Wow.
They were actually celebrating 100 years last year. I'm told a very long time ago, there's a Kenyan who sat there in that board.
Yeah.
I don't even know their name.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is one Kenyan who has ever sat there.
Wow.
Yes.
So this is a revival of some sort.
Kind of.
Yeah, and to have you there,
Yeah,
then
but not in our generation,
Yeah.
maybe in the other generation.
Wow. We are truly, truly proud of you.
Yes.
And as you suggested earlier,
Yeah.
then you're dealing with pedagogy,
Yeah. Curriculum, pedagogy, and assessment.
and assessment.
Yes.
Setting the international agenda.
It's more like one doing research and finding out what are the cutting edge issues that countries need to address.
Yeah.
And then we come up with policy advisories, which are now used to inform countries on how they should deal with matters curriculum, pedagogy, and assessment. So we are more of advisory.
Advisory.
Yes.
Wonderful. That's
Yeah.
critical.
Yes.
That's critical, and especially coming from
Yeah.
that level.
Exactly.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah.
We are again very proud of you.
Yeah, thank you.
And now back to the theme.
Yeah.
Looking beyond the horizons. In a general sense, when you hear that, even in normal life, what comes to your mind when you talk about looking beyond the horizons?
Yeah, that is a very exciting theme, because when you break this down and look at the critical words, looking beyond the horizons, the first thing that you're telling yourself is that looking is a very deliberate activity. There's a difference between seeing and looking. Seeing is incidental.
Yeah.
If I'm seated here and something passes, I'll see it.
Yes.
Yeah. But looking
Yeah.
is deliberate. I have to consciously
Yeah.
make up my mind that I want to look. Because we talk about looking for something.
Yeah.
We don't say seeing. When you're seeing something,
Yeah.
it's almost unconscious. It's passive. Yeah. You don't have to make up your mind that you will see.
Yeah.
But when you talk about looking, It is something that you consciously determine that you are going to do. So looking is active. Then beyond the horizon, that is very powerful. Because why we wake up every morning is because we always have a hope for a better day. Why I wake up every morning to come to NEC as the CEO is because I want to craft a better institution that will serve this country better for tomorrow. So when we're talking about looking beyond the horizon, it is very futuristic. It brings hope. It says, even if the horizon right now may not look very pleasing, there is something beyond the horizon. That's why we are always told to, beyond the skies. Because even the sky is not necessarily the limit. There is something beyond that sky. And the same applies to this, that we must always work towards a better future. That we should not limit ourselves to what we can see. We must think beyond that. And when we come to the core competencies, you'll actually see a very strong alignment between this theme and the core competencies that have informed the competency-based education. Yeah.
That is quite profound.
Yeah.
Because actually the theme was inspired or is inspired by the story of Abraham and Lot. And you see, Abraham is told, look to the north, south, east, west, and as far as your eyes can see.
Yes.
So you're the only one who can limit yourself. How about that?
That's it. There is always something new. There is always something that you can create because God has created us in His image. We are co-creators. We are co-workers with Him. And from nothing, God is able to create something. So there is a very strong alignment. I hope that this theme will not just be limited to this year. It's a theme that people can keep coming back to and asking themselves, are we deliberately and consciously taking our time to look beyond the horizon? Yeah.
Wow, wonderful.
Yeah.
And now let's start delving deeper into the connection between this theme and what is going on in the country, and especially in this new season of the CBE and the CBC. Now, I want to ask for all Kenyans. These terms are being used very interchangeably. CBE, CBC. You started talking to us about CBC, then kidogo, now you introduce CBE. What's the difference between this?
Thank you very much. One, we can go back to the birth of CBE, where it came from, because sometimes people need to contextualize what you are discussing. And just like your theme, as God is talking to Abraham and Lot, they are in a very difficult situation. God is not speaking to them to look beyond the horizon because things are good.
No.
We must remember where Abraham was. Abraham was going through a lot of psychosocial issues around, now I'm growing old, I don't have a child, all those things. And that's when God is telling him, no, don't look at where you are. Look beyond the horizon. There is something else. There is a better day that we can create together with you. And competency-based education was born out of a difficult situation in this country. You remember in the year 2007, what happened in Kenya? We went through a very difficult time. We were staring at the precipice. We were staring at, we were on the cliff, on the edge of the cliff. And this country was almost disintegrating. And so in 2008, the two protagonists, who was the late Mwai Kibaki and the late Raila Odinga, well, both of them are late, they came together and formed what was called the Grand Coalition Government. And from that, they said, okay, what do we do so that Kenya doesn't go back to that very difficult.
Like the PV, yeah.
Exactly. And they said, why don't we come up with a vision? A vision, going back again to looking beyond the horizon, a vision that will help us, even when there will be competition, to still have a stable and prosperous country. Those are the two critical ingredients. A stable and prosperous country. The two are interrelated. One, we get into some philosophical arguments about what do we need first before the other, but like the chicken and the egg. But the two must go together. You can't say you need prosperity before you get stability, and you can't say we will get stability and then we get prosperity. The two have to go together. Well, today we don't have enough time for that. So when they come together and therefore create this vision, Vision 2030, and they have the three pillars. The first pillar is the social pillar, the second pillar is the economic pillar, and the third pillar is the political pillar. And through those pillars, they say, let us now ask ourselves, how do we create a newly industrializing country that provides a high quality of life to all our citizens by the year 2030? That's what Vision 2030 is about. Providing a high quality of life for all. That's the key word. For all our citizens. Okay? Then they very fast say, okay, then we need to change our constitution. And in 2010, you know that we changed our constitution. And in the same year, the government sets up a task force. This task force is led by Professor Douglas Odhiambo. And the mandate of that task force was to align our education sector to both Vision 2030 and the new constitution. So in 2012, it is Professor Douglas Odhiambo, through that report, who said we need to reform our education so that we align ourselves to this constitution and this great vision that we have given ourselves. So through that report, the reflection was the current education system is benefiting a very small population, because up to even now with the 844 system that we are having, we are only able to get like 26% last year. Before that, we would get like 20% of the learners who exit from secondary school Form 4, qualifying for university education. Now, that in a way was telling over 70% of our children that you've spent time in school, but education has not given you anything meaningful. Education has not empowered you enough on what you should do after secondary education. I am sure you have seen a lot of our children when they finish Form 4, and you ask them now, what do you want to do? A lot of them are lost. They don't know.
No idea.
Because the 844 system itself, the structure of the 844 system, assumes that every child will go through the first 8 years of primary education, the second 4 years of secondary education, then they will do another 4 years of university education. And that's where the fallacy begins. That's where the weakness of the system comes in. Because if we are saying over 70% of the children will not go to university, then it means their system is not 844. Because where is the last 4 for them? They have done the first 8, They have done the second 4. Now,
Yeah.
over 70% have not qualified for university. So for them,
Yeah.
what is their last digit
Yeah.
looking like? Then the system is
It has
not
not
serving
worked, yeah. It's not
majority of the children. Over 2/3
Yeah.
of the children
Yeah.
are not getting anything out of this whole system. So 844 had that weakness. And therefore, Professor Douglas Odhiambo said in his report, we need to have a system that is serving all the children. We don't want a system where a child goes through school and like last year you saw 48,000 children just leave school with a certificate that reads E. The previous year it was another 47,000 who left with an E. So that is close to 90,000 children, almost 100,000 in 2 years, who you are telling you've spent 12 years in school, but
You are a failure.
you are a failure.
You are a failure.
So what then is the future of those children? So we cannot therefore achieve Vision 2030, where we provide a high quality of life to you. If we spend time with you in school and the most that we can give you is a certificate that says you have failed. So that's the inspiration that Professor Douglas Odhiambo comes with. And in 2012, he issues this report. This report is very rich. Actually, the DNA of everything we are doing is based on that report.
That report.
Yeah.
Good to know.
So that I encourage many Kenyans, and because this is Christian Education Week, I would encourage your viewers to take time and read that report. And Professor Douglas Odhiambo looks at the 21st century and therefore says that in the 21st century, we need to not just be preoccupied with acquisition of knowledge. We need to ask ourselves, how do we apply this knowledge so that this knowledge becomes meaningful? So he challenges the educationists to come up with a competency-based education system. That's how CBE was born. Okay? That's where the construct came from. Now, I was in KICD for 20 years. And I remember around 2016, 2017, we sat down and started to construct this whole system. And we asked ourselves, for you to be successful in the 21st century, regardless of the career that you're going to pursue, and you know careers these days are they are sitting on quicksand. They are evaporating because of technology and the advances that are happening here. What do you need for you to be successful in the 21st century? And that's where we came up with the core competencies. The competency-based education, foremost, before you can discuss anything else. It is about core competencies. It is also about the second thing, which is the vision. Because we asked ourselves, for you therefore to be successful, even if you get these core competencies, what kind of a person do we want you to be? And this is where the church and the religious bodies come in very strongly. That we want every child, and that's the vision of this whole reform, to be engaged, to be empowered, and to be ethical. Yeah? So that aligns very well with everything we do with children in our religious education systems, and particularly as Christians. Then we said, okay, then what mission are we going to give ourselves? We said we want to make sure that our education system nurtures every learner's potential. That is the only way that you will assure every child that you will have a high quality of life. If we make sure that you spend your 12 years in school and we are nurturing your potential. That's very powerful because it speaks to the mandate that God gives us in the Bible. Because there is no one, even the 3 servants who are called by their master, and of course they were given the talents based on, the master must have looked at the 3 of them and he knew them. So he said, you will get, I think 4, you will get 2, you will get 1. But everyone got something. Each child who is born into this world is born with some potential. Even a child with special needs has some potential. There is nobody who is useless. There is nobody who is born into this world and God has not given them something. So then what is the purpose of education? Why do we keep you in school for 12 years? We shouldn't keep you in school for 12 years so that we can give you a certificate to tell you what you can't do. That is not nurturing your potential. Actually, that's wasting your time. The ideal situation, and which is what we are aspiring in these reforms, is to spend the 12 years with the child, identify their potential, then nurture that potential. That is the ideal. We shouldn't be having, so parents, teachers, and other persons who are in the ecosystem that the child is existing in, that is their cardinal and primary responsibility. Even in the church, that's what we should be interested in. We should always be asking ourselves, what potential does this child have? There's no one who should live their life with a label of, oh, you can't do math, or you can't do science, and therefore we give you a piece of paper that says you are E. What do you do with that piece of paper, with your life? How do you live a high quality of life? We are actually at the age of 17, 18, almost like destroying your self-esteem.
You already declared.
You are declared, and you have a certificate to confirm it, that, that you have a problem, you know? So this system is meant to spend time with you as a child, to help you now, especially this looking beyond the horizon. You know, the horizon that we are having now is one that just tells you what you can't do. But beyond that horizon, we are saying that every child has some potential. And our responsibility as educators, as guardians, as parents, as everyone in the ecosystem of that child, is to know what potential does this child have. Those are the three cardinal things.
And to nurture it.
And to nurture it.
And at that point,
Dr.
wow, it's getting deep here. And I hope you're still following. Because we end this first half with that statement that every child has a potential. And that's what we preach, indeed, that we are wired for greatness. We are God's workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God predestined since the creation of the world. You know, we are wired for goodness. So none of us is a failure. And on that note, we want to take a very short break. We will be right back. Remember, I'm here with Dr. David Jengere, the CEO of NEC. And we are unpacking the Christian education theme and looking at how it relates with the education system. You don't want to miss this. So stay right there.
We all know that feeling, the power of water. It is not just a drink, but the vital purity of nature. That is where Milele Kirk drinking water comes in. It is clean, crisp, and pure. Now in a brand new look, but still as sparkling as ever. Whether for an event, home use, or you just want to quench your thirst, grab your bottle from a shop near you now. Call us today on 0725 253 777 or 0738 225 966. Milele Kak drinking water. Drink fresh, feel Milele.
Hello and welcome back. We are glad you are still with us. We are excited to have you. And just to remind you, just in case you've just joined us, today we are talking about the theme, we're expounding on the theme of Christian education this season. We know in the Presbyterian Church of East Africa, we have a department that is charged with matters education. And the theme for this year is about looking beyond the horizons. And then it goes ahead to talk about enhancing collaboration, competence, and capacity building. It's inspired by a verse or two verses from Genesis 13, verse 14b to 15. Genesis 13, verse 14b to 15, the story of Abram and Lot, their parting, and how Abram is challenged by God to now look up from where he was to where God was taking him. And today we are very honored to have the CEO of NEC, Dr. David Jengere. Thank you very much. And he has laid a very good foundation on how the CBE, system came about. Actually, if you have not watched that, you can replay later, so that we can be at par, because this system is here to stay. It's affecting all of us, and it's good that we move together. So looking beyond the horizons, and we have started engaging on what does it mean and what kind of children or products we want to produce at the end of the day. And we want to dig further. You've talked about engaged, learners, talked about what? Ethical.
Yes.
What was the other E?
Empowered.
Empowered.
Yes.
And we're talking about, nurturing every child's potential. We want to see now that you're talking about the ecosystem around the child. We know that 67% of the education institutions in this country, and that's a historical thing. Just last week, we celebrated 100 years of the existence of Alliance High School, 100 years. And that means that many of the institutions have a relationship with some sponsor, and especially the religious sponsors. And we are actually happy with that. And therefore, we too have a role to play within the ecosystem. We want to unpack the different, aspects of this ecosystem and see the role they need to play in bringing up this empowered learner.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I think this is a very long topic, and we can't do justice to it in the time available.
True.
It's almost a course that you need to go through.
We can have a series.
Yes, we could do a series. Why not? Yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I'll just pick three things in this competency-based education, and especially that align to your theme. The first, which we started talking about, which is core competencies. The 21st century is very complex. And you have seen how, as I mentioned earlier, jobs are just evaporating. And we have to empower our children to succeed in this century. There are many countries that have already started planning for the 22nd century.
Already.
I have participated in conferences in some parts of the world where you attend, and on the program, you see a session that they are discussing 22nd century, and you think it's a mistake.
Yeah, like did
they make a mistake? Was it 21st? Then no.
Era.
It is 22nd century they're thinking about. Here in Kenya, we are now 25 years. A quarter of the century is gone. We only have 75 years to go to the end of this century. The children who are in school today will be in the almost halfway through this century when they will be active in the industry. Let me tell you, Reverend, that world will be so different
from our world. Yeah.
The world is now going through the motions of transitioning from the 4th industrial revolution to the 5th industrial revolution. And if we don't want our children to become spectators or to just become consumers, then we have to look beyond this horizon that we're having. It will not be easy. No one has ever said it's going to be easy. The 4th industrial revolution is defined by about 3 or 4 things. The first is data. Second is data analytics. The third is AI. And the fourth is robotics, among other things. Now, when you look at the children we are taking through school, especially using the current education system, you can almost see a very big gap in these 21st century skills. So the 7 core competencies we came up with, the first is called communication and collaboration. It actually speaks one of the items you're having here. You cannot succeed in this century if you can't communicate effectively and you can't collaborate with others. Everything is about communication and collaboration. You must communicate. That's why you've seen the implosion that has come with social media. Everybody wants to communicate. But you ask yourself, from our end, what are we communicating?
That's a big question.
So we have to start training these children early enough that you can communicate and collaborate and become and live this quality of life that the Vision 2030 is telling us. If you know what you are communicating on, we've reduced, the infrastructure that has been provided to enhance communication and collaboration. Unfortunately, most of us are using it for the wrong for the wrong reasons. You are not going to live a high quality of life if you don't know how to take advantage of how that infrastructure can help you. The second is what we are calling critical thinking and problem solving. The kind of problems that are emerging these days are too many.
And complex.
And complex. The environments we are living in call for critical thinking every day. Like, look at the studio you have in here. I mean, this is a lot of critical thinking on how does the church engage better. And that's a major thing that the whole world is addressing. The third, and which is very important, is imagination and creativity. We must imagine a different future. Beyond.
The
we can't get stuck in our current challenges. We can't be lamenting from morning to evening that, this is happening. We cannot reduce ourselves to that because God has created us and given us brains. The same brains, the same number of brain cells that the people in China have, are the same number of brain cells we're having here. We don't have less. But we, instead of imagining and creating and preparing our children and putting them in an environment where we challenge them to think, where we challenge them to imagine a different reality, we almost like depress them. We are the ones who are always telling them, oh, you know, things will never work here. Oh, you know, we have to get children who are constantly, in fact, in the current curriculum designs, one of the parameters that was introduced is called key inquiry questions. When you're starting any lesson, you ask yourself questions. What if? What if this was different? All the innovations that you see today, it is someone who sat down, mobile phone, and asked themselves, what if we had a gadget that doesn't have a wire? What would it look like? Then they started to create. And even what we call the taxonomy of learning, those people who are in education, they know it's called the Bloom's taxonomy. That Bloom's taxonomy, which we have traditionally used before the 21st century, had 6 levels that started with recall and ended with evaluation. In the 21st century, the Bloom's taxonomy has changed. Now, it starts with recall, it ends with creating. Because in the 21st century, they are saying, anything you learn, any knowledge you acquire, if you are not using it to create something, that knowledge may not be very, very useful. Hence, the competence-based approach. So the whole list of the things that we are supposed to achieve in the core competencies, they end up in the 7th core competence, which is self-efficacy. Self-efficacy, Reverend, is one of the most important ingredients of competency-based education. Even if you don't learn anything else from this show, but you learn that every human being needs to have a very high level of self-awareness. Who am I? Even God's relationship with most of the most profound persons in the Bible. You look at Moses, you know, it begins with that relationship. Who am I? Who are you? Do you know yourself? Do we know ourselves? Yeah? Or have we allowed ourselves to be defined by others? Because sometimes when we allow other people to define us, they will reduce us to something and we may start to believe how they define us.
We miss the chance to exploit our full potential.
Exactly.
In God.
You could be having a lot of potential, but you're seated there because someone told you something, or maybe your background, maybe your parents. Someone told you, you know, something about your parents are not good enough, or you don't even live with your both parents, and you know all your parents are poor, and you start to define yourself from that perspective. We have to foremost help our children to know who they are. Who am I? Even Paul, as God was engaging him, the relationship started by looking at asking, you know, God, who are you? Look at even people like Joseph. Look at people like Jacob. Look at people like all of them. They had to go through the motions of self-awareness.
And the moment you discover who you are and your purpose, then it becomes meaningful. And I think that's the same question that Rick Warren in his book, Purpose-Driven Life, tried to answer. What am I here for? So that is CBE.
That's the point. This is one of the most important parts of CBE because the core competencies, the most important one that sits at the bottom, the 7th one, is self-efficacy. And as you are challenging me to ask, what can other people do in this competency-based education beyond the teacher, the parent, the people in the church, the Sunday school teachers, the pastors, whoever else is there. Everybody can help the child to improve their self-esteem, to have a positive self-image. to know I am not useless. Even if someone somewhere else told me I'm useless. Even if I'm coming from a slum. You told me that one of your the churches in your parish is in the slums. Those children there, they need to develop a high sense of self-efficacy. And everyone can participate in that. If we embrace the fact that the child is growing up in the community, and we can't leave this work to the teacher alone. We all must corroborate to help the children develop this. So the first thing that I would challenge your viewers to do is to look at these core competencies, and each one of them to ask themselves, what am I doing to help these children in terms of, you don't have to be a teacher.
No.
You don't have to help children achieve some of this. Citizenship, some of these things you can participate in different ways. Now let's come to the second part. The second pattern, which is very exciting about this competency-based education, is value-based education. And we started saying this way back in 2016, that every society is defined by its value systems. It is not enough to take children to school and have them get grades, and everyone should aim to get good grades. I'm the CEO of NEC, can't minimize the importance of children getting good grades. But you will not have a stable society if all we are pursuing are grades and certificates and scores. The most important thing is your value system. It's a society. And so CBE is inviting us to step back and ask ourselves, what is our value system? What do we value as a society? And how do we prepare our children to value the right things? Are we doing that? And values are not developed through instruction. You don't develop values by telling someone, be honest. No. Values are developed through the environment that we put our children in. Whether it is at home, in school, at the church, in the vehicles. You cannot develop values. Like I cannot develop the values of my children if when we are in the car with them, I am overlapping everybody. They start to learn that you don't have to value the next person.
No. You don't have to obey even traffic rules.
That's it. So, values define society. And even if we do not have the professional areas, if we don't have engineers, we don't have enough engineers, we can import them from other countries.
True.
I mean, the Chinese are constructing our roads in Kenya. If we don't have enough doctors, a few years ago, we imported doctors from Cuba. We didn't have enough of them. I'm not saying we should not have professionals. We need professionals. We need enough of them. But in the event we don't have them, we can import them.
There are many people looking for opportunities.
Exactly. But if we don't have values, what do we do?
Then, Daktari, I wonder, then CBE doesn't seem to be a system for the children now.
Yes, it's for everybody.
It's pointing at us because if that's the environment that is going to nurture.
Exactly.
To be honest, are we doing well?
I must say,
as the adults, as the leaders.
Yes, I must say that the cycles of lack of the right values, even in the Constitution, you remember when we gave ourselves a new Constitution in 2010, one of the things we did was to create a whole chapter on values. We created a whole chapter in the Constitution. And we even said that if you are aspiring to be in public service, there are those chapter 6 things that we say we must adhere to and you must demonstrate them. So the infrastructure is there. Now it's a question of asking ourselves, Just like if you have a tool in your hand,
Yeah.
it's a question of how do you use that tool.
Use it. Yeah.
You can have a tool, and the tool is okay. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
But if you don't use it,
The user.
if you have a djembe in your hands,
Yeah.
and you're not going to till the land,
Yeah.
there's no way you're going to produce any food.
You don't get the value of
Yes. So the tools are there.
Yeah.
The constitution is there.
Yeah.
The competency-based education system is there.
Yeah.
But it is us to now use it.
Yeah.
It has provided us with everything we require, because the last thing I want to talk about is community service learning. Community service learning is also telling us that in every community, we require people to serve in different capacities. And that's what we usually call, in the traditional, in the classical sense, careers. We need doctors, we need farmers, we need drivers, we need, for community to be complete. A community cannot be complete if we don't even have pastors.
Yeah.
We need them. So we are therefore saying that our education system must create that awareness that there is no service which is superior to the other.
Yeah.
The doctor is not superior to the farmer,
No.
because the doctor needs to eat.
Needs to eat.
Someone must produce that food.
Yeah.
The driver is not inferior to the engineer, because why is the engineer constructing the road? The engineer still needs somebody to deliver products from point A to point B. That's the driver. So in community service learning, we are therefore saying we need to dignify every engagement within the community that is providing us with service, community service learning, and there is so much in the competency-based education that is looking at how do we therefore bring up children who will not look down upon. You'll be surprised if you go to some of these countries in the global north and find that there are many children who don't aspire to go to the university. You'll be shocked. Children, they have the capabilities, but they're not interested in going to the university. They want to go to the TVET. They want to become plumbers. Today,
Become gardeners.
exactly. Today, you meet a child in Kenya in a primary or secondary school and tell them, would you like to be a plumber? They'll be like, even the parents are like, how?
Yeah.
You can't go to school to become a plumber.
Yeah.
Because we look down upon those trades. We think that they are not dignified enough. So I'm not saying that people should not aspire to become engineers and doctors, but society cannot be made of doctors and lawyers only. A community must have this whole service, and the services will be provided by all these different pieces. So if a child, for example, says, I want to be a pastor, the first thing the parents should do is not to say, oh no, no.
You want to be poor.
Yeah, the parents should start finding out, why is this child aspiring to become a pastor? What is in them? What is this thing that they are looking for in becoming a pastor? And how do we nurture it so that we now achieve the last piece that I want to mention on, so that you can ask me your questions. I know you have many of them. Is the guiding principles. And I'll just speak about three of the guiding principles. The first one is opportunity. We must provide opportunity for our children, so we must invest. That one we have, there's no question about it. State and non-state actors have to invest. You cannot get anything good out of nothing. There must be investment, because every child must be given an opportunity. The next guiding principle is excellence. And God loves excellence.
God is the author. He's excellent in his nature.
He says, he creates and says, this is perfect.
It's good.
You know? So we must provide opportunities for children to excel. So that if I want to become a pastor, provide me with an opportunity to become the best.
Yeah.
You know, like what Martin Luther
Yeah.
King said in 1956, that you want, if you are a street sweeper,
Yeah.
you want to sweep so well that
Yeah.
even the heavens,
Yeah.
they look and say,
Wow.
here was a
As
great
sweeper.
sweeper.
Yeah.
Because we also need sweepers.
Yeah.
We need
True.
people to clean.
True.
But we must dignify.
Yeah.
That is where I was coming to. We must dignify every service. We should not look down upon them, and we must not mistreat them also.
Yeah.
We must also give them a dignified remuneration so that they don't feel like they are at the bottom of the heap. Then the last one that I'll talk about, there are about nine guiding principles. The last one is parental empowerment and engagement.
Yeah. Let's do that in 30 seconds.
Yes.
Yes.
Parental empowerment and engagement is telling the parent
Yeah.
that you are the most critical factor
In
for the
this whole-
success of
yeah.
this competency-based education.
Uh-huh.
You are the most critical factor.
Yeah.
So you must empower yourself
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
So how empowered are you? Are you taking time to find out what is my role as a parent? What am I expected to do? And we are not saying you teach your child math and physics. No. But there are certain things that a parent must do. There are certain obligations that every parent has.
Yeah.
And I hope that you will be inviting the experts in that space
Yeah.
to come and also engage parents and tell them what expectations are there.
And from where I sit, I think not just the obligations,
Yeah,
but also we are called also to model.
true.
There's a huge and a heavy responsibility
Yeah,
on us,
yes,
because these children
Yeah.
are emulating.
yeah,
These children are looking up to all of us in the society,
exactly,
and we must measure up.
exactly.
You know, the producer is saying, we do not have any more time for
Okay.
this. Imagine, that's
Yeah.
why we said we are going to serialize this.
Okay.
We have to do
Yeah, I
serial.
hope we can make time for this.
There's a lot that we need to learn. I mean,
Yeah.
we need to unpack this whole system.
Yes.
And it's so rich.
Yeah,
And I can tell you,
Yeah.
maybe from kwa ground,
yes.
we can already see the difference between the children
Okay,
who have gone through this system and who are going through this system.
yeah,
Already we have feedback from the grade 10s
okay.
that they're very assertive, they're bold, they're confident, you know that, communication and all that.
Exactly. Yeah.
They know who they are, their
Yeah.
rights,
Yes.
and they're also very engaging.
And that's the first cohort. By the time we get to,
To the third.
cohort 10 or
Yeah,
whatever.
It will be a different story. So it is working, and I think, as you're saying, it takes all of us to collaborate,
Yeah.
also build capacity as per the theme, build our own capacity like we are doing now, this capacity building for the viewers and for all of us, and also build competence, even for us who are the handlers. And we are so grateful. Now, you work in a very busy office, locally, regionally, internationally. What keeps you going as we wind up?
Well, I think what keeps me going and what inspires me a lot
Yeah.
is the fact that education is what has brought me where I am. And there are people who took their time to provide me with quality education so that when I am in any part of this world, I'm not saying this to brag, but I think I've been to every continent in this world. That when I go to any part of this world and I sit with my contemporaries, I don't feel inferior. I actually stand out. That is courtesy of some people who took their time to provide me with quality education. So I want to make sure that I give back. I want to make sure that as I go to sleep, I am asking myself, did I do my best today? As I wake up in the morning, I tell myself, I must do better today. So that I can make sure that the generation that goes through my hands and the next generation will benefit from an equally good education
Amazing.
like the one I received.
Wow.
Yeah.
But then, what is this thing that renews your strength again? Deep down, how do you draw the inner strength to keep going? Because they say the higher you go, maybe the cooler it becomes.
Yeah.
I don't know, cooler in what sense.
Yes.
But what gives you strength?
I think, well, the grace of God, I must say,
Yeah.
because there is a place where some of these positions are very lonely. You are on your own. Because you have to respond to sometimes very difficult questions. The grace of God is always very sufficient. God doesn't throw you to the deep end without giving you the strength on how to swim. And then the people who mentored me. I was Professor Magoha's education advisor for 3 years. And he mentored me thoroughly. So I always have this thing of, if they were able to do what they did in very difficult circumstances, then there is no reason why I can't also give my best.
You have no excuse.
I have no excuse. I have no excuse. While I am on that seat, I have to give it my best so that when I exit, I'll not look back and have any regrets on some things which I should have done.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yes.
And now to bring this part one,
Yeah.
he said it's to be continued.
Oh.
God giving us some opportunities. What is your parting shot to the viewer?
My parting shot is this. We have one of the best opportunities to reform our education so that every child has an opportunity to thrive. And this is not going to be easy. It will not be done by one party. It will not be us versus who. No. It is each one of us to ask themselves, what can I do to make this work? Because we don't have a choice. It has to work. It has to work because we can't have the current system where over 70% of the children are being told that you are 8-4. You can't complete the last 4. We can't have that. Some children, it can't work that way. We must have a system that speaks to every child. And this is the only system that can do that. Yeah.
And that's a very good way to end to this show. The question of what can I do? You know, we're used to passing there to other people, and now this one is coming to us. What can I do to make this work? So all of us have a role to play wherever we are. I must thank you very much for taking time off your busy schedule and being with us. You've really educated us, and we want to hear more. And I think we've just scratched the surface. As you said, like it's a whole class that we need to attend, and we've learned a lot this day. Thank you very, very much for this. And when we call you next time, please be ready. Our dear viewers, thank you very much for your time. We trust that you've also learned and picked something. We're talking about, looking beyond the horizons. And what is your horizon? What is limiting you? So you have an opportunity to look beyond, and in the education sense, formal education that we've been discussing, there's much that is lying beyond what we can see. And so we need to discover that. We need to enhance collaboration, build our competence, and also build our capacity to make this work. Thank you very much again. May God bless you. Until next time, take care, and just know that you are wired for greatness. All of us have potential given to us by God. So don't waste it, and also help others to nurture theirs. May God bless you. Take care.
Welcome to Mono Safari's Tours and Travel. Did you know that there is a place where the world slows down and nature speaks in its purest form, where giants roam free and color paints the horizon, where every moment is curated and every journey tells a story, from the wild savannah to the rhythm of the ocean? This is more than travel. This is how you feel Africa. To know more about us, visit our website www.monosafaris.com or call us at 111-504807 or email info@monosafaris.com. Mono Safaris, Tours and Travel. We are because we love what we do.
Kwenye Star Times, Bei Chini, Burudani Juu. Enjoy kids entertainment, the best football, Hollywood movies, gripping dramas, and so much more at fantastic prices. Buy the aerial decoder at only 1,399 shillings and the dish decoder at only 2,499 shillings. Say yes to unmissable entertainment. Recharge your monthly subscription today and get upgraded to the next higher bouquet for 1 full month. And enjoy Teen Titans, Ben 10, and Pokemon Hunters on Cartoon Network, Gangs of Manila on ST Novella, and Come Back to Me on Novella E+, TNA Wrestling and Blockbuster Hollywood movies on TNT. Download the Star Times On app to enjoy unlimited entertainment on the go. Star Times, enjoy digital life.